Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and/or their affiliate and supported ministries and/or nonprofits. Some of this content may be adult in nature, so please use discretion while watching with your children. Meaning, be there to answer questions if it's an adult topic. Not perverted, but adult in nature. Good morning! Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in the beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay, with your hosts, Matt and Jay, and no one else. Pastor Paul had called me this morning, so I need to get back with him as soon as the show is over. It's Wednesday, and what does that mean? That's right. I just want to leave that open. We're logging into our Facebook and our YouTube accounts. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
And we're glad to have everybody on board with us today.
Yes. We were acquainted with some interesting things on our systems about how to do green screen, about how to do video calls, and those are interesting things we need to start implementing so that we don't forget how to do it. But it was pretty interesting because I noticed the menus that we bring up that have video, position, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, at the bottom it has a video call.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
On the screens?
Yeah. You add an input, and then when you go to all that where it says position and everything, you set it all up. On the bottom it says video call.
Nice.
And you set it up as a video call.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting news.
Same thing with the green screen, I think, is on there too. Isn't that how you get to that?
Yeah, chroma key.
Yeah.
Cool which stuff. We need to put a green screen up behind us so we can be sitting in
are.
Hawaii.
It's how bizarre, bro.
That is so bizarre.
It is how bizarre.
And the reason we put that...
I forgot the song because I started singing Nails.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It's like, how bizarre, how bizarre. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. How bizarre. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's from the 90s, late 90s?
No, I can't remember.
I think it was from the late 90s.
Slipped my mind.
It's like, blank. It's all right. That's bizarre. That's so bizarre.
It's in my
The reason
face.
we put that there. Okay, so we're talking about spring. It's time. Bees play a really important role in the ecosystem and pollinating.
I'm sharing this to Facebook.
Are you sharing this to Facebook?
Yes, while you chat the audience up.
I'm chatting the audience up like crazy. So we've got one viewer so far.
One of the funnest things about my job as being a cashier was to watch the adults come in with children. And sometimes the children are so chatty. They have it's like a nonstop. You hear them throughout the store and it's like one long conversation.
One-sided.
All the way through. All the way through the store, this kid is just chatting, and I always mention it when they come up. I'm like, wow, they're chatting you up, aren't they?
It's one
and they're like usually like, yeah, they are chatting me
up. It's like one-sided. All right, I am loving this video.
They're adorable.
Good morning,
though.
Larry Milton.
And it's funny how some children so young can have such a
Andrea Rooster.
Their vocabularies are massive in order to put that much conversation together.
I know.
And you listen a little bit, you're not trying to eavesdrop because that's rude, but you can't help but hear the intelligent conversation and the way this child is, and it's all original. It's not like they're repeating themselves. They're just describing their entire day with perfect language, and they're like 5 or 6 years old, and you're thinking, wow. I hope I was that intelligent when I was little.
Probably. I was the talker.
Now then there's those moments where those ones come in that just raise hell. I mean, they are oof. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's man, I would be beating that kid,
Yeah. Not me. I would just say that kid would not be coming back in the store with me for a long, long time, and they would understand completely why they are not allowed to go in the store.
You had to do that with your children at one point.
I did. Yes, I did.
You had to. They went a very long time without.
3 months. 3 months. They never went in the store.
And they noticed.
Yeah.
Johnny Rooster Live station Monday through Friday. Oh, that's
And I was never against having fun. So we still had fun when we went in the store, but when they got carried away and I corrected them, they knew that, okay, this was the moment that I better turn it around because this ship is going down.
Yeah.
And, you know, they liked getting lollipops when they behaved in the store. They liked being able to choose
Hi,
some
Stacy.
of the food they were going to be eating for the week, you know.
Steve is
And
is
the clothing,
saving
you know,
gas today.
We would buy clothing too. They would get to, you know, look at
Yeah.
clothes.
Do you remember? I remember. I didn't really get to pick out my own clothes for a while. And
They
when
didn't
I did,
really, but there was some guidance, of course.
yeah, I got a one pair. So my brother Tony, when I was younger, he bought me a pair of pants. And he let me pick them out, and they were Jordache, and they had 23 pockets on them, and that was just so cool. I remember my first day of kindergarten. We had went.
You had Dave kindergarten. How bizarre.
I know, that's so bizarre. I went to. All right, so my brother Michael and I got to pick out a set of our own school clothes. And we got matching camo outfits. And that was the bee's knees. See what I did that? Correlating. The bee's knees.
What is with all these weird friend requests I'm getting?
Well, you know, you're just, you know, you're an attractive man. And, you know,
that's definitely not it, bro.
Middle Eastern men find you, you know, not necessarily Middle Eastern. There's some in India and there's some in Africa. But, they're, you know, most of them are like...
Yes, I am so attractive.
They always end the sentence with "okay." Now that's how you can tell if someone tries texting. And this is a scam that
There's our people.
That I mean,
Hi, everybody.
Of course, I'm not grouping everybody into the Middle Eastern part of the
Just what are you trying to say,
scamming.
Matt? Just what are you trying
but
to say?
because they're from all over the world, and what
the
they
Far
do
East. I think
is
India is the Far East, bro.
they steal a picture from and if you make your whole account public, which I have.
I Googled myself the other day.
Did you? Don't talk about that on the air.
Why?
Oh, what'd you come up with?
It had everything about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tells you your like closest relatives.
Well,
now,
not everything. I mean, you'd have to pay to get more. But
yeah,
you could pay and find out every place I've lived, every phone number I've had.
I paid for that been verified or whatever
on my checking account.
I paid for one of those where you verify people because somebody was calling.
Oh, it's more advanced than that now.
Because after Dad passed, I guess a couple years ago, Uncle Billy had switched his phone numbers. Because he wanted to get like the free phone or whatever, and they used then the phone number doesn't get reassigned right away. I think they wait 15 months, and so apparently, all right. So and nobody really,
Stacey, I hear that.
nobody really had Uncle Billy's new number. So when Dad died, Mom was trying to call Uncle Billy on his old number. Well, these kids. Well, one of them was a grown person, but there was two
started harassing the people that called.
Yes,
and threatening them.
Not threatening them, pretending, saying,
right,
"Hey,
yeah.
Oh, this is Bruce. I'm calling you from my coffin. I'm alive in here." Things like that. They called my mother, and it makes my blood boil. And I called Uncle Billy. He had a few choice words to say about it. So
yeah,
I
imagine they heard from him.
Yeah, they heard from him. They probably heard from the police too. They heard from me, and so they still were. And I said, "Look, calling and harassing me is one thing, but calling a widow of somebody, pretending you're that person that died
recently,
that is a whole new kind of messed up in the head." And I said, "When I find you," and I said it just like, "When I find you, oh, it's gonna be so bad for you." "Oh, really? Think so?" Yes. He said, "Oh, you want my address?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Yeah, please. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna call the cops. Click.
Yeah.
Well,
you told them where they were too.
Yes. Yeah. I said, that's is this? Are you from? Is this such and such from Brookline? Are you? This is You're in Brookline, or I can't remember how I said.
Which is right down the road.
And you know, they didn't call anybody back.
Yeah.
After that, but you could hear he was a little shaky because
I already had Uncle Billy's number, so I didn't experience that. They didn't get my number through it.
No. But you know, that's bizarre.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, I know, and Stacy.
Stacy, you're doing well.
Yeah, his face is still killing me.
Steve's not here today, but he will be here Thursday. He
might be somewhere on here. All right, so it
wasn't really a spam scam. It was more like, what is that called? When you dial and say, "Hey, is your refrigerator?" Crank call.
It was a prank call.
It was a prank call.
But it came up from Uncle Billy's number.
Very bad taste.
Hey, this is Bruce, because she left a voicemail on that phone number.
Right.
Talking about Dad. Hey.
Well, once your dad died, everybody was calling family.
Hey, this is Bruce. I'm calling from the graveyard. I'm stuck in here. Help me, you know. And it messed Mom up.
Yeah.
Because this was just what?
Very upsetting.
Not even a month. It was about a month after Dad passed.
How bizarre. This is just how bizarre.
Stacy said, I have to do that with my son Daryl all the time. When he misbehaves in Walmart in stores. I told him that he can't go into Walmart until he learns how to behave in Walmart.
Well, and it wasn't that they were irritating me or being irritating. Those were more minor disciplines than the 3 months. The 3 months was over there hiding on me.
Yeah, Steve
so they were
McAllister
too young to be out of my sight.
Yeah,
in a public place like Walmart, you know, and they were too young to have the discretion that somebody might use a certain technique to draw them away and get them out into the parking lot where they could be kidnapped. You know, they weren't old enough to really understand that stuff. But they were hiding on me, and I couldn't find them. Hiding in clothing racks and stuff. And they wouldn't quit. So I said, "That's it. We're leaving." Left the cart.
My biological mother and my stepdad used to tell me, "Yeah, let them take you. They'll bring you back in like 45 minutes." Because I was a talker.
Yeah.
Surprising, huh? I'm a talker. I talk a lot.
Yeah. My youngest and my oldest were talkers. My middle son wasn't really much of a talker, though. I got to reconnect with him because we connected not too long ago, and I want to see him again.
Who?
Chris.
Your son.
Yeah, I got to see him.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
You know, he lives life like we all do, learning from mistakes and stuff. Hey, Matt and Jay, I get spam all the time.
Yeah, I'm a little tired of spam.
Jana Hale, welcome to the party.
Good morning.
It's good to see you. Steve McAllister is viewing with us.
Is he?
I'm surprised he's not doing a watch party.
I'm surprised he's not making comments.
He is doing okay, Stacy. Okay. That's disgusting. That's what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. He says, hi, Jana. So he's going to be at church at Northwest Baptist later for our prayer service. And, so he's going to save some gas. So he needs to, only one way there, one way back. Otherwise, he'd have to do it 4 times. So,
yeah.
So let's see here. I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Go on to our YouTube channel. Like and share the YouTube videos. Subscribe and follow.
You get notifications when we're coming live.
That helps us out more than you realize.
Yeah. Yep. And it really did when people did that. Even though only a few people did it, it seemed to me like it really expanded our reach and more people were tuning in. Yeah, so we made some changes and had some difficulty starting on time. We had all kinds of issues coming up, because we were expanding and trying to open a second studio, which didn't really work out. And we have got to modify the plan in order to do this well. And we're excited about it, but I don't know why I was saying that. Oh, and we lost a lot of viewers. So it would help us if you like us, share, subscribe, all of those things, YouTube and Facebook. those things would really help us to broaden our reach.
Yeah. So,
and don't we have a video of a?
Oh yeah, from
It's
Tiffany,
the same one still.
Tiffany Kirk. Yeah, it's the new
Because we
one
didn't
from this week.
download all of them.
No, it's
Oh,
the
is
new
it?
one from. That's
It's
the new
this
one for
week.
this week. Yeah.
Oh,
What does
okay.
it say? Does it say mermaid?
Yes.
Yes, that's the new one for this week.
Yep.
This is a short video produced by Johnny Rooster, by
One of our
someone
contributors, a
who
guest that came
donated
on.
to us. Yeah. So since they donated to us, we'll give them a little bit of recognition here on the old show. So without any further ado, go ahead and.
My favorite Disney movie is The Little Mermaid. I have to tell my cousin that my favorite Disney movie is Sleeping Beauty because we grew up watching it, but it's really The Little Mermaid.
What's something that you would hope that your customers say about you?
I think the biggest thing I hope for them is that they would say that I care. I want them to leave feeling like that they are heard and that they are cared for, and to know that whenever they need help in the future, that I'm going to be there to care for them again.
And we're back.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Pastor Paul, you are awesome too.
Tiffany Kirk at OCH Marshfield. She cares, and her coworkers.
I like the last video
testify of that
where she's
too.
singing Jolene.
Jolene, yeah.
And Rooster did it just right. She's like, Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. And then it goes to a different thing real quick, and then
Yeah.
it comes back, Jolene. It's just out of nowhere. So awesome. So, yeah, this is exciting. No, you're awesome, Pastor.
Plus, the collaboration here, you should come and join us and be a part of it, because the collaboration here is really amazing. I am learning so much
we are praying for you,
from Johnny
Stephanie.
Rooster. It's
Or
incredible.
Stacy, sorry.
It's also inspiring me and making me want to look into being able to do this better, and we're learning more and more to do this better. We're kind of, I don't know about burned out.
Johnny
I know I'm.
Johnny makes us work, though.
Yeah. And
puts us to
looking at
work.
what it's going to take to expand this is a lot. So, you could really come and help. You could volunteer to come and
Come
help
and learn
do
the
something.
equipment
Be
if you
committed
can.
to it. Come and see it first and see
Yeah.
if it's something you want to commit to. Find out if there's some way that you might have a better understanding of the equipment or the technology that we're using that you might be able to help us and further our cause, which is to provide eventually 24-hour live programming. But we need people. We need people who know what they're doing, or at least are willing to learn, or who feel like they may have a purpose here and can be committed to a long-term commitment of time out of their week each week.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you on. We'd love to have you. If you just want to be a guest on one of our shows, we'd love to have you. You're always welcome on the morning drive. Just let us know you're coming, or let us know when you'd like to appear, and we'll have you on. And that's how bees are.
That is so bizarre.
Bees are busy
So, especially this time of year.
and buzzy.
Now, honeybees are okay. They're not violent
No.
in any way. It's the giant, big, bat-like, what are those things called? Yellow jackets?
Oh, don't get around with them.
Those, I got stung
They
in
want to
the,
sting you just
I
because
got
they
stung in
don't
the
like
back by one.
anything.
While I was going into, and usually they didn't bother me when I go into the shed,
Yeah.
right? I just go in there. They do their thing. I do mine. Now it's murder with a vengeance when I go in there. I murder all of the yellow jackets and all the wasps because they are violent. Anyways, so
I
I'm
worked
reaching
on a
in there.
farm in Ohio for a little
I
while.
felt like someone shot me in the back, bro.
Oh, yeah, it hurts.
And it was right in that spot where you couldn't reach.
Yeah.
And it was like, It was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I saw a farmer who had it was wasps or hornets, and they got into his door. So those doors slide, and when they bang open, or bang close, they come out and they're angry. And it was getting bad enough that they were harassing everybody. So he slams the door and stands right over there by the opening where they come out. And as they're attacking him, he's just crushing them, squish, squish, squish. Getting stung, just killed the hive because they just all came at him.
What?
Yeah, that was his technique. It's a tough old gristly farmer, man.
That sounds like something that Larry would do.
These guys are bad, man. They're tough. I ran through the woods one time and knocked one of those paper wasp nests down, and they were so mad. Oh, I had so many of them all over me, and I'm running and I'm squishing them, and I finally get away from them, and I start walking because I think I'm out of trouble, and I hear this bzzz, and it gets louder and louder, and they're all over me again.
Man, is somebody coming at me with a weed eater?
Oh, yeah, they pursue, man, and especially if I knocked it out of the tree.
Ooh.
With my head.
Hornet's nest?
Yeah.
Oh, but at least
Chasing
it's
a
not
calf.
Africanized honeybees.
Chasing
you
a
remember
calf that broke through the fence.
I thought that was going to be a worse situation than what it actually is.
Well, and I'm sure that's going to take longer to migrate.
Africanized honeybees?
Maybe our climate's not really good for them.
So, Jana, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll bring my guitar in here on Friday and we'll do some music. Does that sound
would
like
be
a plan?
great. Yeah, I love the music. that you
Jana
do.
says, Matt, how come you never play the guitar and sing?
I don't
miss
know.
it.
I wonder.
Well, we just are usually so busy with stuff. So Friday we'll do
Well,
some
7
music.
years ago, that was you. That was
Yeah.
what you did.
Yeah, and it still is what I do. Not as much as I'd like, though. We're going to be
Yeah.
playing with Barney a little bit later today.
Yeah, I got to get home and do some work.
Yeah. Oh, is there a lot of work to do out there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All
Well,
the mics have to be set up.
Oh, I didn't know that. And plus, we probably should put up some of that sound baffling stuff, too.
But I'll get her done.
You're doing it,
We'll
right?
do it. Yeah.
Janice says, awesome. So what was I looking at? So Stacy, we will be praying for you. Keep me in your prayer, she says, because the doctor just put my son Daryl on some new medication that my son has never been on before. Daryl has been hyper all week when he is in school and at home. So, talking to you as somebody who has ADHD or had ADHD, I still have it a little bit. Minus the H. It's not really. It's not really. I don't consider it a disorder. They call it something else.
I
in a
can
different
tell when
country.
you're following your diet and when you're not.
Really,
Yep, by your mental clarity.
really.
That's the first sign I get. That's the first sign that I can tell.
Well, I mean, I've been following it pretty steadily.
Yeah, but I can tell when you're eating something that's out of it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
How strange.
Yes, because it tells you how it's bizarre,
How bees are.
how drastically, quickly, and acutely it affects your mental a person's mental capacity. I wonder if I was to follow a healthy diet like that and to start understanding better what I eat instead of just kind of eating what I like and what I want, and start to understand better how diet really works.
Yeah.
And start fueling myself healthily instead of just indulging instead of a necessary function of the human body to survive, to indulging in a way that it's not healthy for its real purpose.
I haven't. I still eat my bars, but like last night for dinner, I had beans and cornbread.
Yeah.
But I don't eat as much of it.
Yeah.
I can't eat that much of it. I get feeling full really fast.
Yeah.
And it's actually the sugar in stuff is I don't know. It's hard. I didn't know that it made that big of a difference.
It does.
Am I
still
Am I
blown
kind of
away.
off kilter right now or something? Is that
Not right now. When you're more off, like with the sweets and carbs, that's when you can really tell.
Yeah, there was a couple days there
Because
I
that was a good
cheated
mix
lot.
of carbs and protein.
Yeah, it's like
you know,
the perfect
and
balance.
sodium and
Yeah, I still don't do much salt anymore.
yeah.
But yeah, and I mean,
Isn't it amazing though?
Yeah.
Like you can actually tell.
do you remember that lady we had that had a 30-minute broadcast on axradio.com, and she always said, all of your health starts in the gut.
It's with what you're eating.
It's with what you're eating. Because if you're eating loaded carbs and loaded with fat and loaded with all this and that, well, there's also the
I mean, you know what I eat. Mine's fair. Mine's a decent.
well, I mean,
diet.
you can. I mean, sometimes, like yesterday, you said you ate so much that it was hurting you or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
but-
I smoke so much that when I eat too much, I can feel it. Less capacity in my lungs.
Yeah, that's
That's eating a lot.
a healthy diet. the main part of the program I'm on is teaching you healthy habits of eating. Like, I'm at that point now. If I want to have a little sweet something, I can. I just can't. You look at the back. I look at the back of everything that I purchase and stuff because I need to know what's going into my body.
Yeah.
So if it's too high a sugar, I put it back.
Right.
Just put it
And
back.
how do you know what's too high?
Well, I just go by anything more than like 4 or 5 grams of sugar.
And
is too
how
much for
often
me.
should you eat? Because here's what I end up running into. I don't think about food much.
Right.
And so I won't eat until I'm really hungry.
If you ate a small amount, a tiny amount, about every, and make sure it's healthier stuff.
So what it ends up being is that before I go to bed, I'm so hungry that I have to eat.
And then you go to sleep with it on your stomach.
Yeah.
And that can cause weird dreams.
I don't
things
have
like
dream problems
heartburn.
anymore. God took that away from me. I'm
Praise
telling
Jesus.
you, praise the Lord, because it was nightmare every night.
Well, you should eat about
How can a person
every
avoid
2 to 3 hours.
being hungry at the time? Isn't it really coming up with a real plan too?
Yeah.
Knowing what you're eating and what it does to your body,
Yeah.
and having a real plan,
And then
so that
having
you're
a
not
schedule.
eating at the wrong times and eating the wrong things at the wrong times.
Because if you eat every like 6 to 8 hours, you're going to overindulge
Like, how soon after you wake up and get out of bed should you eat?
within the first 30 minutes.
Within the first 30
Within
minutes.
the first 30 minutes,
For
you
me,
need
it's
to have.
not even within 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, like usually you don't eat until we leave here.
Yeah, till after I get home.
So
And that's not because I really want anything.
because your body needs that boost of energy with the nutrients and you could eat a
Boredom?
You could eat a
Being
power
bored
bar
is something that
from
will make me eat?
the convenience store, something small. Just
I notice they make me hungrier. So, like, in 3 or 4 hours, I'm really hungry after I eat one of those.
it might be
And I don't mean craving hungry. I mean my body is telling me, grrr.
yeah, because actually you need to eat a little something about every 3 hours.
And
2
that's
to
a
3
real
hours.
thing.
That is a real thing. That's the important part. That's the most important part about this program I'm on because you program yourself to eat every 2 to 3 hours, and the reason is because if you after 3 hours, your body will go into starvation mode, which is where it doesn't know when it's going to eat again. So whatever you eat, it consumes the sugar first and stores the fat. All right, so you're and then that also causes you to have less energy because it burns through the simple carbs really fast.
You know what one of my concerns is? Sorry.
No,
I'm
what is
interrupting you. One of my concerns is that the American diet and the American way of life, because we're as a whole, we are so wealthy compared to the rest of the world
Eat as
that
much
we don't
as you
really
can.
Right, and eat according to whatever your indulgences are,
Yeah.
what your desire is, and rather than what your body needs and what is good and healthy for you. Here's my concern. We got things, almost every drink we have now has all these electrolytes and all these vitamins and everything in it. I'm wondering if we are getting so much of those things that we need, like that we're getting an excess of those things that our body really needs and processes regularly. So your body is constantly processing these things because it needs them in your bloodstream in order for your brain to work right and for your body to work right.
No, Andrea.
I'm wondering if by having those things in massive quantities in everything we consume, are our bodies kind of not evolving, but are our bodies adapting to that? And so instead of processing those things in a way that's healthy, they're saying, okay, we're getting too much of this now, so they have to shut down systems. Your body has to react to that differently, so that if there were ever, say all of a sudden one day, because of, say, transportation or something, that these producers couldn't get those products to put into these drinks and into these foods.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, our body is not going to be able to get the amount that it actually needs that's healthy for it to function. But also on top of that is used to processing massive quantities of it. And so as soon as your body sees it in the bloodstream, it says, oh, here it comes. Boom, knock it out. And now that we're only getting enough of that stuff to survive, our body doesn't know that yet and hasn't adjusted to that yet. So it's wasting it, throwing it away when we don't have enough to spare anymore.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if our bodies are getting to that point where, and our American diet is getting to that point where it's so unhealthy, so overindulgent, and so, I keep forgetting the word. There's so much of these things,
Gluttonous?
excess of all of these things that are going into our body, that our bodies are going to adjust in a way that when we, face a real crisis, they're going to function incorrectly
Well, that's like
and kill us
not
or
carbohydrates,
make us
but,
really unhealthy.
Electrolytes.
I guess I should.
There's electrolytes in so much stuff that if we were to lose that, I mean, there would be people passing from dehydration because of no electrolytes. Not dehydration, but
Well, and then what's the only way we can actually get electrolytes? It's through sodium is one of the electrolytes, but then also like watermelon, I think, is the only natural way we can get it. Imagine if we had, in order to get electrolytes, we had to grow our own watermelons. What that process is and how long that takes, and then how do you store it and actually have it on hand when your body needs it?
it does, Larry. The Bible does tell you what to eat and how much. Well, I mean, it tells you not to be gluttonous, that's for sure, because an overindulgence in anything is bad.
What's a Fitbit?
It's a watch.
Now, I've also seen these diets where they design a diet around the extreme reactions the body has to extreme dietary change. Yeah. And so like the all-carb diet or no-carb diet, all-protein diet, I've seen these real weird things where it's
intermittent fasting, which is super unhealthy for you.
Which is, and I've seen these diets where they're actually causing your body to go into a shock, an emergency mode.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's healthy either. But they're promoting these things as though it's a good thing.
Well, see, and the problem with that is, okay, so that keto diet or the low carb diet or the Atkins diet, all those are all pretty much the same thing. It's no carbs, almost no carbs, and all the fat that you want, and all the protein that you want. And here's the problem with that. Do you lose weight with them? Yes, absolutely. You lose it, and you lose it fast if you stick with it. But here's the main con to that is you're not changing your eating habits. So you go into this mode where you're like, oh, well, I can have as much of this meat or as much as this, as much as that, as long as there's no carbs, I can have as much as I want and I'm still going to lose weight. Yes, that's great, but you're also consuming very high quantities of fat.
And your
not
body's
good fat.
It's still gluttonous.
It's still gluttonous. And so the problem with those particular things are if you eat all you want every meal, regardless of how you feel, because it's guilt-free. In your mind, it's guilt-free. No carbs. Oh, I can eat all this I want. You're not changing your eating habit. So when you stop doing that, which you ultimately end up stop doing it.
Well, and it's not healthy if you keep doing it, is it? What's the ultimate result?
Your cholesterol will be through the roof.
Once you've lost weight to the point where you are at a optimum body weight for your height and your sex and gender or physical demand, and you're still on that diet, do you continue to lose weight? I mean, how does the body react after that point?
Well, okay, so let's say that happens. You get down to your goal weight and you stop doing the low carb diet. So you start eating carbohydrates, right? Well, here's what happens. You still eat all you want. So it's a very high percentage of people, like 90% of the people that do those diets and are successful for any length of time gain, 15 to 20% more than what they weighed before they started it. Because they're programming their mind, whether they know it or not, to eat as much as they want, as many times as they want. And that's a hard habit to break whenever you stop doing low carb.
So now how does the scientific community view these things? Because I grew up with the four food
four food
groups.
Or the pyramid.
The food pyramid with the 4 food groups and the quantities. So the pyramid was about how much of each thing you should have.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that may have been true back then, though. I think it's changed significantly. But
are they playing around with these things to gain data so that they can better understand the body and what's the best way for the body to function?
Probably.
And does that keep in account? Does that take into account the fact that we can have droughts and famines? And then how is your body going to react to a sudden change of the quantities available? Or say there's an international issue where transportation and transport or trade of these goods that we're getting where we're getting all of these substances from different countries. There's all of a sudden some political issue that divides us, and then those things they cut us off, right?
Yeah.
What happens if the country that's supplying the majority of our electrolytes decides, hey, you know what? We're not giving you any more of those. And then all of a sudden, everything we eat is so full and excessively filled with electrolytes. Our bodies are used to processing massive quantities and just eliminating anything but what it actually is going to use. Now, what happens if we're kind of on a ration basis with those products? How long is it going to take our body to adjust? I know that bodies adjust pretty quickly because I saw it happen with you.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, my question really is, what are the long-term effects of the diet that you're on? And does it really eliminate excesses of all these substances and teach your body to consume and maintain what it really needs in order to live?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you're getting all the vitamins and minerals that you need every 3 hours, including good fats.
Right.
Because you have to have.
What if you skip one? How do you feel?
Well, if you just skip one, yeah. I mean,
because I did notice that too. Is that when you did kind of vary or circumstances didn't allow you to follow it to the letter, it didn't seem to make much difference to you.
No, because I mean, if you skip, like if I go too long without eating something, like let's say it's like been 4 hours, I can definitely tell, and I know what my body needs. Like if I know the feeling I get whenever I need salt, whenever I need electrolytes, things like that. So,
can the body store those things?
Well, I mean, yeah, it does to a certain extent. Like,
can you train your body so that it will store more of it?
I mean, it stores electrolytes in your fat cells because, I mean, that's liquid.
Right.
You know, I don't know the exact science of that. All I
yeah,
know
and
is,
I'm wondering about those things because I think we're playing with fire when it comes to diet in America with all the excess and how they're artificially pumping excessive amounts of all of these.
Too much of anything is not good.
Yeah, things into our diet. And in America, you can't hardly get anything that doesn't have an excessive amount of everything
you could live
in it.
on baby spinach, let's say that's all you ate was baby spinach. Well, you would die. You would get sick and you would die because there's too much potassium and other things in it. Too much of anything will make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Like too much salt, too much fat, too much
iron.
Too much sugar,
Baby
too much
spinach
iron.
has a lot of iron, right?
Yes. And you'll find yourself
sodium.
shaking all the time.
And it has a bunch of sodium.
Yeah. So the best thing you can do is just have a balanced diet. Get on a program, get on a schedule.
That teaches you how to understand what's on that label.
Yes, absolutely.
And know what's in the food.
Absolutely. So
now, is there stuff that has and meets all the criteria, but then you see some other things in there that aren't good for you that you would kind of reject that for, or that in a pinch you can use it even though maybe you're getting a little bit of the stuff that you shouldn't have or don't or isn't necessary?
Now, what was that question exactly?
When you look at a label in a pinch and you really need something, but you don't have the stuff that you prefer or that you know is the most healthy for you, but you see something on that label that may not be so great for you or may have an excess of it that you know you shouldn't have that excessive amount, that you recognize that and regularly or consistently reject that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, I mean, everything I look at, I look at now I don't look at the vitamins as much, but I look at fat content, calories, sodium, and carbohydrates.
Right.
Those are the four main things.
And we got to get out of here. I'm sorry I got onto a topic, but you know what? When it comes to the excesses of, I think, the American diet, that is not how bees are.
That is not how bees are.
Yes,
but
and we want to be more like how bees are.
So if you eat honey, you're eating bee spit.
You know, even the Bible says to it, follow the ant.
Yeah.
Look at their ways.
Yeah. That means to be orderly.
They're a communal type.
Help each other out and be
they
orderly.
Work together
be organized.
For a purpose that is good for them all.
Yep. So we've got Johnny Rooster coming up next.
Yeah, and we've gone over time. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right, because he probably has a bunch of stuff he needs to set up. So, plus we got to clean, spray the mics down and all that good stuff. So, man, this show went fast today. It went fast.
We thank you all for joining. Sorry I didn't pay too close attention to your comments.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We'll be back on here tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for The Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster, followed by Open Ended with Peggy Lee. And I don't know if Jeff with a G is going to be here, but when they get here, yippee! So until then, my friends, may God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
This has been The Morning Drive.
I was waiting for